Things have been progressing nicely with the Myrmecia brevinoda colony, and I'd love to share some of this colony with you today. So I hope you enjoy this video. Stick around to the end as well, and I'll reveal something really nice inside this colony. Let's get into it. This video is sponsored by Ant Keeping Depot. Click on the link in the description to check out their website. So this colony of bull ants, the Myrmecia brevinoda, are doing really well, and one of the important things with any colony is from time to time you need to give it a little bit of a clean up, a bit of a tidy in the outworld, and that's what I'm going to do today. So we're going to start here in the outworld. As you can see, there's a little rubbish pile here over on the right where they dump all of the cocoons that have hatched, or any food that they've got left over, or any ants that have died. They tend to chop up the ants and dump them in that pile though. Interesting. But yeah, there's a few things leaking around, as you can see here on the ground, and the glass gets a little bit messed up and a bit smudgy in that as well. So I'm going to try and do a little bit of a clean here, but because it's a little bit of oil residue, it can be a little bit hard to get off. But anyway, we'll have a little bit of a clean up here. Now after we've done a bit of cleaning there, it's time to top up some of their sugar water. So I use the sugar water feeder there at the back, but I've also have this dish at the front which I'm just going to clean up, and I'll fill that with some sugar water as well, just so they've got a chance to have a drink with something else. Now you'll notice I'm using really long tweezers, and that's because these girls, I believe, really hurt when they sting. Haven't had the pleasure of that yet, and hopefully I won't for some time. But always cautious. Always be cautious when you are doing a clean out in the outworld. There's some twigs in the outworld here, and they can climb up them quite often, so you just have to be a little bit careful. So I'll drop this one back down in here for them. I've cleaned it up nicely, and now I'll just drop some sugar water into that, and hopefully we'll get a bit of a video of them having a drink of that as well. And yeah, well, it wasn't long before they were over and drinking, and they love it. So we'll have a little bit of a closer look at them. Now you'll notice there this size difference. If you haven't seen these species before, there's a huge difference in size between some of the little small workers, which generally tend to the brood, and then you have these large workers which generally are out foraging, taking down those large insects like some of those big crickets and things, and dragging them back to the nest. Now these Myrmecia, they're solitary hunters as well, so they go out by themselves and they go hunting, and they drag that prey back. They don't use chemical trails at all, but they use those huge eyes they have to navigate and to know where they are. So beautiful, beautiful species. Notable difference from these ones to others which signify the brevinoda is you've got that nice big black abdomen, and you'll notice the rest of them are all one colour. Now the mandibles or the jaws there at the front, they're just that reddy colour as well. Other species start to have different colours there. Also with these ones, they have the little fine hairs on their abdomen. So yeah, this is a species of brevinoda, and unless you didn't know, there's 93 species of bull ants in Australia, and we truly are blessed to have a wonderful species of ants right here to enjoy. But look at them, beautiful. Look at those eyes. They can tell what's going on, and they're watching and looking, always on the watch. So really nice to get some close-up footage here of them having a bit of a drink out of that fresh sugar water. We've got this guy, this girl, she's cleaning herself after she's had a nice big drink. Now as you can see, as we move through the outworld here, you can see it is a little bit messy. That's a water container there on the left. They love to get that water out and into the sand, and they love digging and cleaning their mandibles into that sand and moving it around a fair bit. So it does get a little bit messy, a little bit of trash around that needs to be cleaned up as well. So I'll work my way through this and just give them a little bit of a tidy up. Now and then a nice tidy up is good. It stops mold or anything growing in and around the colony, which is very important to keep them nice and clean. I've just decided to put some loose sand here. Only a thin layer as well, just because it gives me a nice contrast to see the ants, which is great. Here we can see one just exploring near the rubbish pile and over those rocks. Just a few different textures I like to put in the outworld. Just give them a little bit of something different. So fantastic. Out and foraging. So I'll have to give them some food soon as well. And look at that. Yep, that's the head of an ant. Now, I believe that's one that's newly hatched, and for whatever reason, perhaps it was a queen that they did not like, but for whatever reason it was, they've decided to chop it to pieces or kill it. Now, maybe it died. It didn't come out of the cocoon properly either, and they've just cut it up. And here we can see, yeah, this one has a piece of abdomen that it's deciding to carry around. Now, it's a little weird because they don't just dump these straight into the trash pile. They actually cut them up and then they carry the body parts around for days. They just walk around and around with the body parts, not really knowing where to put them. It's a very strange behaviour, but I don't know if it's some way they still know it's one of their species and they're not quite ready maybe to part with it. I don't know. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Well, time to have a look inside the nest and see what's been going on. Plenty of exciting things in here. So let's dive in and have a close look. Okay, one of the first things you'll notice here is we've got a nice, healthy brood pile in the center there. Look at all those beautiful larvae that have hatched out of those eggs. And then over on the left there, do you see her? Yep, we have our first queen elate. How beautiful. Nice set of wings on her, looking very healthy. Recently hatched out, which is fantastic. And that's really good to know because this is an ergotoid colony. So a queen that is undersized here is laying, so I can't quite pick her out yet, and I haven't caught her laying. But now we have workers hatching out, not a problem. We also have queen elates and we have drones. So the whole lot is hatching out here, so it's a fantastic sign that we've got a beautiful, healthy colony of brevinoda. And boy, are they expanding quick. So we've got some nice cocoons there ready to go, about 5 or 6 left, and we've got a lovely pile of larvae. And boy, are they hungry. So we've got this pile here, but we've also got another pile. But let's have a close look at this queen. Isn't she beautiful? Those big eyes. She's got the ocelli on the top of her head there to help her with navigating. And then you can see now, Matt from Hunter Valley Ants described this to me. The queen looks like she's got a backpack on, and that's where those wings attach. So she's got that big lump on her back. It's a little bit hard to see, and I'll try and get a side-on shot just to show you a little bit easier what that thorax looks like where these wings are attached to. So you can see there she's still not heavy set. So just think, if she dropped her wings, would you be able to tell that she was a queen if she was walking around? Yeah, we'll have another look at her in a minute. But here we go, we've got some more larvae. So this is this brood pile in the middle that I just showed you before. It's really nice to see. They look really healthy, so they're going to need some more protein added to them. So some crickets and some mealworms over here. Yep, some freshly laid eggs again. Yeah, they don't really give up at all, which is fantastic, and it's a great sign. They are pumping out the eggs and the larvae really expanding quickly. It's a really nice sign. I'm very, very happy with this colony. It's great that I can share it. And here we go. This is another pile of larvae that they have. And we can see here they are munching down on some mealworm parts. Very hungry. And you've got to keep a constant supply of this protein up to them. What I have noticed is if a worker does not enclose properly or hatch properly, they will actually tear it apart and they will sometimes feed it back to the larvae. So nothing is wasted. Making sure that the larvae develop the next generation is very important. Now, one thing I have tried to keep a bit of an eye on is how long it takes for egg through to a worker. And there's a little bit of a variance, but probably around about 4 to 6 months for that process. So quite a long time. When you think something like a meat ant, it's only a couple of weeks before you've got them hatching out. So 4 to 6 months it's about for these beautiful big species of Myrmecia. And here we have that queen, so you can see where it's got that extra little lump on the back of its thorax, and that's where it has its wings attached. So not a huge thorax like you have in some of those fully claustral species, but a semi-claustral species like this, you can see that it can't really live on its wing muscles alone. Yeah, beautiful. So did you enjoy the colony? What do you think about this colony? Beautiful? I absolutely love it, and I love that I can share it with you as well. So I really hope you've enjoyed this video today. Now, this channel wouldn't be possible without my fantastic Patreons, so a huge thank you to Medical Carcass 9, John Redwood, K Single, Gordon C, and Ant Nation. Thank you. For as little as $1 a month, you can support the channel and you'll get early access to videos, behind the scenes information, and plenty of other perks on different levels as well. So I really appreciate your support. Thank you very much. Well, if you've stuck around this long, please hit that subscribe button. It means a lot. That support is fantastic. There's a video recommended for you by YouTube, and then there's one there that I've picked that you might really enjoy. Some really good footage in that video. Thanks, and happy ant keeping.